we got a ratty go-kart for Lonnie. So if you guys don't remember from the last video, you should. We're going to Cars and Cameras for the Dust Bowl 500 race. It's a circle track race on dirt, and we gotta have some yard carts with no suspension. Stage 1, 212 or less. It could be a 196, it could be a Tecumseh, whatever. We're gonna use all 212 Tillotsons. So in the last video, you seen us get Braxton's cart ready. So this one is going to be Lonnie's. This is old school Dingo. This is one of the OG Dingos. Someone's, for some odd reason, they've cut, I don't understand why they did this, but they cut these on both sides, and then they cut this thing 100% in half and very booger welded it up. So gonna have to strengthen that for sure. We got new spindles coming from Go Power Sports. We got some race slicks sitting in the floor over there. So what we can do right now is go ahead and pull these pedals off, and we're gonna put the Manco remakes that Go Power Sports does. We got a seat coming. It isn't here yet. We don't have the engine, seat, spindles, and that's about it. So we can go ahead and get the steering mocked up. We can get the engine or the axle and stuff put on and start modifying it for hydraulic disc brakes. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start taking stuff apart, taking the spindles off, pedals off, and getting the axle on. So let's do it, baby, because we gotta go win the gold. You know what I'm saying? Oh!
I thought wrong.
That socket's hot. Probably shouldn't use a chrome socket with an impact. Woo. So this is the difference between the old original Manco stuff. See how thin walled that is? Go Power Sports remakes. This is not the exact ones. We're waiting on them, but look how much better those are. Way better. So Go Power Sports stuff is a good upgrade for your Manco. And you can tell we don't have a steering wheel, so we got to bend a, not quite a 180, but we'll do like a, I don't know what that'll be. We'll try it. We got to start grinding, cleaning. Oh, jeez. Got to start grinding, cleaning. Oh, we can go ahead and pull off this this brake.
Oh, I got you.
All right.
Can we please use band brakes? It's Lonnie's, dude.
That's true. We got to cut both these off anyway, so we'll just cut.
He only has one kid.
Yeah, and she don't really need them. All right, now we can start dressing out the axle really quick. We got the axle bearings from your boys at GPS. We're not gonna need the weld-on flanges, of course. So, under the collar first, the bearing next, a lock collar, another lock collar, then we'll do the brake disc, then we'll do this. Dang it. Laugh it up, everything's just a big joke. And we'll do one more of these. We like to use our lock collars. And we'll use this brake rotator.
Hey, it ain't gonna work.
Then we'll use another one of these lock collars. This is what keeps your stuff from spinning around. We'll do another one of these. I know it seems like overkill. Trust me, it's the way to do it. And we do another bearing this way. And then this. Okay.
Are you running a 2-piece sprocket, boy?
Yeah, and we haven't got our sprockets in the mail yet. So we always use these carriage bolts on our axles. This axle is like way too large. We're gonna cut it. Because again, Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh. We're just gonna snug these so we can adjust our axle.
I say we leave it that long.
Just and sharpen it to spikes to pop other people's tires.
Yeah.
He didn't say nothing about weapons. By the way, if you want your chance to win a set of Milwaukee wrenches, here's not the place because we're not giving away a set.
They're too expensive.
Now, we don't know where this is going to be and whatnot. But, okay. Now we can go ahead and slide our big fat daddies on there. Okay, here's our big fat slicks. I think these will slide on. Now, oh! Mudda trucker. So, that's nice. That's real nice. They look small, don't they? Because the Dingo's such a big boy. Let's clamp this puppy down.
Yeah, I'm tired of holding it.
Gosh, man. So yeah, don't look that amazing because it will once it's on the ground. I think this thing's going to be
Slam.
ultra loaded. Brake and slam. See, this is the height of the bottom of the frame, this table. So we're going to be on the ground. So now we just got to put our front spindles on so we can see. We want this to match or be a hair bit wider in the rear. We can't cut the axle and get this buttoned up until that's done. So I can go ahead and lock down these collars while we're waiting. A lot of people don't know these collars right here. They're ovaled, so you put them against that neck and spin them and see how it's tightened up now and it's grabbing that bearing. Then you tighten this down. The more you know. See how if we try to slide that, it ain't going over the lip. It's because we need to rotate it till it grabs it. Right there, spin it. Then we can tighten down this sit nut. But I don't like to trust just that to keep the axle from moving. I like to take these, smack it against the back, and tighten those up on each side. Alright, so we're getting ready for the race, and I got to get a few engines ready. We're going to be running all Tillotson 212s from your boys at Go Power Sports. This is by far my favorite engine. The biggest difference between a Tillotson and a Predator is we've noticed the casting is better on them, the tolerance is better. They're just overall a better engine, and they have, I really like their valve train in their head. Go Power Sports has a ton of performance parts for these, and what we're going to be installing today is a 24 millimeter Mikuni. This is by far our favorite carb. The thing is just super smooth throughout the power band. I love it. We're going to be doing a Juggernaut and a 30 series CVT kit and just a normal bolt-on kit. And we're also going to be installing a billet flywheel for safety. We're going to have no governor in this, so that's another thing we'll be doing, and stripping the gas tank and stuff off. And this is the biggest safety issue when you remove the governor. The factory flywheels are cast and they can bust on you after you get it above the 3,600 to 4,000 RPM limit. So definitely check out Go Power Sports. Check the links out in the video description where you can get all these parts. That is just jewelry for your engine, baby. So we'll be slapping this puppy on. Just going to do a real quick time lapse of it. You've seen this on our channel 100 times, so we're not going to bore you with it too much. Just going to strip this thing down, get all the parts put in it, and we'll be ready to install it on the Dingo. So let's get to work. So now I can prep all this. We can find something that will sleeve inside of this. Manco used, I'm impressed, they used 11 gauge tubing on this, which most go-karts back in this era was quality built. All this is 11 gauge, so that's super awesome for us because this is quality built. So I'm gonna get everything prepped. We'll get some holes, some 3/8 holes drilled in here for some plug welds. We'll get it sleeved and reattached.
A few moments later.
Also, I don't like how this hoop is just bolted here. So we're gonna cut this flat bar out, put a small piece of notch tube in the place of this, and then we're gonna weld this directly to that. So this is actually a good, strong cage for this thing.
Big man.
Dang! Look like a Japanese flower. This is our quick release. Go Power Sports used to sell these, but I don't think they sold them very well, so they stopped supplying them. I think that's the reason. But you can get these on Amazon using our links down below, of course. But this is a quick release. We got the hub on the go-kart steering wheel, so just to make Lonnie's cart a little bit easier to get in, just like Braxton that has a quick release. And just TIG weld the top. I'm gonna go ahead and TIG weld the bottom, even though it don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I just keep water and stuff from getting in there, and then we can start building our whole steering setup. We already got our hoop bent. We did 170 degrees.
Yep.
170 degree hoop instead of a 180. We wanted to have a little flare to it, a little Ric Flair. So we'll get Lonnie sitting in the cart when we're ready, and we can tack all the holders in place, and then we can do our tie rod ends. So yeah, that's pretty. Look at that thing. Look at that.
It's so
thing.
pretty.
Soon after.
So, my bad, fellas. I haven't recorded nothing in a minute on this thing. So, we worked on it for an entire day, and then this is where we're at. So, you guys didn't see us do any of this. My bad. Got really busy. We're crunched for time. Now we have T-minus 4 days before we leave for the race. She come down to the wire. We got the whole steering set up. We did something a little different. I mean, people's done this before, but different for what we've done. We did the old classic where you got the single large tie rod tying the two spindles together, and then we just did one mount, and it works extremely well. I still have to grind. I had to cut these spindles down about 1/4 inch. This one needs grinded. I think I got a high ear on it, but you can see it works great. We did a Go Power Sports U-joint setup for a 150 go-kart. We also had 2 of the splined ends we had cut and machined down to 5/8 because I use 5/8 rod stock. And I TIG weld that on, use a Go Power Sports end link, and use some of their locking collars. So all of this is removable. So what we can do is remove all this, drill holes, and put grease alamites on all this so we can keep it greased really well. So that's awesome. We use the standard 3/8 Go Power Sports tie rods. We use Dingo spindles. Again, we had to cut these down 1/4 inch to fit in the original little C's. And we have the brakes done. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys, we've been hammering down. So there's no line hooked up, so there's not a lot of tension on it. But it's this is all done. I need to cut off the excess and fully weld everything. Last thing I got to do is where this frame was rusted in half, we sleeved it, and I'm going to weld this and put a notch piece of tube in here, and then I'm going to come off of this down to that with some braces just to brace this up really solid. We do got a quick release, and we use, this is a small Go Power Sports steering wheel, and I like it a lot more on these small carts than the big ones. So that's pretty cool. But Go Power Sports don't have many of these, and I don't think they'll be getting these back in stock. But this is a double piston caliper for a mini bike that they sell, and all I have to do is weld this bracket in. We drilled a hole through that and put a 1-inch spacer in there, so that's how the brake will be mounted. You can see that looks really fancy pants. So once I get this tacked on, we can pull it off, fully weld everything, add those 2 cross braces, and then we can fully assemble this thing for rip snot. We're leaving on Friday at lunchtime, so that means we've got 3.5 days, if we don't count today, to build my car and tune my buggy pulley. The buggy pulley could take hours to tune, like hours upon hours, just switching weights out, trying it, switching weights out.
We can say a prayer before we start.
Yeah, we're praying every day, all day. Alright, so to put these DWT wheels on these hubs, so we cut the ends of the axle off because the only axle we had in stock was a 54-inch axle, which that puppy was out to here. So we cut that off, and we're using Go Power Sports 1-inch lock collars. I like to put hubs on axles a lot like this, but the only problem is this tolerance is so close that the DWT wheels will not fit over this lock collar, and these Allens protrude off the side. So it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I had to open up the hole just a little bit with a deburr tool and then make these little ears on each side to fit over it. Now we've done this before to the Super Scooter. Damn, look at that, fits. We've never had one of these lock collars give out on us. Like, as long as you tighten them good, they ain't moving. And I know you're thinking, well, why don't you put the wheel on the hub then put this lock collar on? it's near impossible to get an Allen in there, and you can only get like a quarter of a turn. Trust me, we've tried it. So now we can put on both of our wheels, and next is installing the engine chain and probably run a temporary gas tank. Ooh, that didn't fit even nicer. So, next order of business, engine. See right there? Oh yeah. This is the only thing we gotta worry about here. Moment of truth. What do you think?
I mean, should be the same as Braxton's, just more comfortable, right?
Yeah, it seems like it's longer than
it's
Braxton.
way more comfortable sitting, for sure.
Yeah, and that Dingo seat, what a difference that makes over Braxton's racing seat. So
This is way more comfy.
we haven't did a brace for the muffler, and that has to be done before we go because it can end up cracking the header. But we got a GoPro on the back. Got a GoPro on his helmet this time because last time he had a headband on, it was bouncing all over the place. So
yeah,
got the bird in there. So let's see what this puppy will do, baby. Oh, baby.
that's all the bumpy stuff.
Top speed.